During the Clone Wars, Jedi General Plo Koon landed on the planet Malastare to refuel his ship when he noticed some suspicious separatist activity in the area, and unfortunately, he has now not been seen in many weeks. His last transmission was sent quite some time ago from the surface of Malastare, and the Jedi Council suspect that he has been captured by brazen separatists. In order to find the missing master, the best of the best have been sent, Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano. So, let's find out what happened to Master Plo. Before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed for more awesome Star Wars lore content. So, the story begins on the surface of the planet Malastare, where Ahsoka and Anakin have just landed. Ahsoka asks her master, what makes the Jedi Council think the Separatists are operating here, having believed that the Dugs and Gran were on the Republic's side. Anakin tells Ahsoka that they are on the Republic's side, but that doesn't stop them from working quietly with the Separatists. Anakin then shows her a datapad with a pod racer on it named Drez Unlan, who happens to be the champion of the sector. Unfortunately, Anakin discovers that this champion has been caught talking to known Separatist generals on Malastare, and being the sector champion doesn't mean much in these parts. Eventually, the two Jedi find the pod racing champion in his tent and barge in, with Anakin telling Ahsoka to be prepared for anything. As the two walk in, Anakin snaps into a rage and demands to know where Master Plo is. Ahsoka also ignites her two green blades before Drez tells the two to calm down and not be so eager. Drez himself has a trick up his sleeve, however, telling the two Jedi that one command from him and an electrical net will drop down around the tent and render them both unconscious. After hearing this, Anakin storms forward to Drez's desk and tells him that he knows he is holding Master Plo. Anakin also tells him that they will not be leaving this mudhole until Master Plo is returned. Drez responds to this by saying, assuming I have this Jedi, and I'm not saying I do, why would I give him to you? Anakin tells him that in return he will have two other hostages to gain, and being the type of guy he is, he challenges the champion pod racer in front of him to a pod race. One lap against Anakin around the circuit, and if Anakin wins, Master Plo is released. If he loses, Ahsoka and Anakin will also become his prisoners. Ahsoka tries to whisper in her master's ear that he will be way too big to fit into a Malastare pod racer, and Drez also calls him out on this too, but Anakin isn't the one who's going to race. Instead, Ahsoka is going to race Drez in a pod race instead of Anakin. Ahsoka is completely shocked that her master would put her forward, but she tells Drez that she is not afraid and is ready to beat him in a pod race. As Ahsoka hops into her pod racer, Anakin warns her that the biggest weakness of racers like Drez is their shocking overconfidence. Anakin also tells his apprentice not to think while out on the track, but instead use her instincts and let the Force guide her. As the race announcer calls for the start of the race, Drez calls out to Ahsoka across the lane, saying, "Are you ready to be beaten, Jedi?" But Ahsoka tells him, "Keep dreaming." Eventually the race begins, and Ahsoka calls for Drez to get out of her lane, but of course the Separatist pulls a dirty trick and uses a razor cutter to damage one of the nearby ships, sending it flying through the air. Ahsoka is luckily still in the race and manages to avoid any disturbances or collisions, despite there being an absolute ton of them. Ahsoka then calls out to Drez from behind and in the back and warns him that she's still in the race, but he's not having any of it, saying, "Not for long." Drez then pushes a red button in his ship, which sends a projectile flying out of his ship, badly damaging Ahsoka's. The disgraceful Separatist racer then declares that he's won the race now, but Ahsoka won't be written off just yet. The young Jedi manages to push her ship to its absolute limit and manages to stay afloat, which leads Drez to pull his same old dirty trick. He uses the razor cutter, but this time on Ahsoka's ship. Ahsoka, however, is far too smart for this idiotic Separatist, and with a big grin on her face, she uses the Force to push the cutter back on Drez's own ship, leading him to crash out and become a disgrace to his title of champion. Anakin is so proud of his apprentice, cheering from the stands as he hears that Ahsoka Tano has now become the new champion of the Dustig sector. After winning the race, Anakin and Ahsoka share a proud hug before the two storm back into Drez's tent, demanding that they hand over Master Plo since Ahsoka won the race. Drez, for some idiotic reason, has the guts to tell Anakin that he won't hand over Plo Koon since Ahsoka cheated by using the Force, an action he doesn't take kindly. Yeah, this guy is just ridiculous. And because he doesn't take kindly to cheating apparently, he orders his squad of B-1 battle droids to take Anakin and Ahsoka prisoner. The B-1 units then begin to open fire on Anakin, but he has no problem deflecting their fire back and is so accurate that he manages to cleanly take the B-1 battle droids' heads off with a single blaster bolt deflection. Ahsoka is never one to miss out on the action, also joining in on the fun by slicing and dicing any B-1 battle droids that come her way. Ahsoka then blocks Drez from trying to escape his tent, but she is unfortunately taken hostage by him, with his blaster aimed squarely at her head. Drez demands that Anakin drop his weapon immediately, or his apprentice will become history. Drez claims he's not playing around and fully intends to pull the trigger, so Anakin says to his apprentice, "I'm sorry Ahsoka, I don't want to push him any further." Ahsoka jokingly shouts back, "That's okay, because I do." After hearing this, Anakin pushes the red button on the Separatist's desk, which activates his shock net from earlier, stunning the Separatist and leaving him unconscious. Ironic. Defeated by his own secret weapon. As soon as the deceptive Separatist hits the ground, Ahsoka turns to look behind her and notices a trapdoor, believing that she has finally found Master Plo. Thankfully, Master Plo is actually being held under this trapdoor, and Ahsoka is able to rescue her longtime friend. As the two walk out of the tent back to their ship, Plo tells the young Padawan that he was on his way back to Coruscant when he stopped here on Malastare to refuel. However, he spotted Dres talking to a Separatist general and wanted to investigate further. But before he could arrest the Separatist pod racer, the net was dropped on Master Plo, electrocuting him and leaving him to be captured. Plo then turns to Ahsoka and tells her that he's very grateful for her rescuing him, and adds that she is truly one of the brightest students he has ever had the pleasure of teaching. Such a beautiful touch from Master Plo, and even further tells us that Plo was probably one of the 3 Jedi who voted no to expelling Ahsoka during her trial. And also let me know down below, which Jedi Council members do you think voted against Ahsoka's expulsion? For me, I'd probably say Obi-Wan definitely, Plo Koon very likely, and Master Yoda is a maybe. The rest, pretty sadly, probably voted all against her. Mace Windu definitely voted against her, and Ki-Adi-Mundi, he was the one telling her the punishment, so he definitely voted against her also. So make sure you let me know which way you think all of the council members voted. And let me know down below where Plo Koon ranks for you on your list of Jedi. I loved him in the Clone Wars series, and after these comics, he's definitely rising very quickly up my ranks, so let me know where he ranks for you. Also, if you want to see more Plo Koon comics, I'd be very happy to cover them, since Plo Koon is such a great character and there are so many stories which not many people know about. There are quite a few awesome comics with Plo Koon, and I'd love to cover them all. As Dres is holocuffed and being dragged to his ship, he tells Anakin that when the Separatists see that he's missing, Count Dooku will come for him. Anakin, however, warns him that he shouldn't be so sure about that, because Dooku isn't someone who tolerates failure very easily. He then asks Anakin where he will be taken, and what will happen with his pod racer and any of his other belongings, to which Anakin tells him that he'll be spending the rest of the war on Coruscant, inside of the prison that we all know and love. And knowing that prison, I don't think he's going to be held there for too long. Definitely not until the end of the war. And as for his pod racer and other belongings, Anakin tells him that he's sure the local Dugs will make good use of it. To end the story, Anakin tells the criminal pod racer that he's missing the one key lesson: cheaters never prosper. Anakin then adds that he'll have plenty of time to think about his actions in prison, although he's not sure the inmates will go easy on him, knowing that he is a filthy fraud and cheater. He's probably swindled half of the guys in there. So that is the time Plo Koon was kidnapped by a Separatist, and Ahsoka was forced to rescue him. Thanks so much for watching, really hope you enjoyed the video. And again, remember to tell me in the comments if you want to see more Plo Koon stories, since Plo Koon is such a great character and there are so many stories which not many people know about. So I'd love to try to bring those to you so you guys have the full story. Remember to leave a like and comment down below to see more just like this. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.